nice, isn't it?
A bit more comfortable than your regular ride.
Yeah, in these conditions it is with air conditioning. Nice sound as well. How light it is.
Have you driven this particular model before?
Yeah. Yes. I've got one in order actually, but it doesn't come through until, at the moment, October, November, just with the build times and things like that.
This is in the UK, is it?
No, this is in France.
Oh, in France.
Yeah, I live in France.
Nice.
So, yeah. So it's always nice to drive on them. I had the original RS4, but you know, there was only one previous generation, and I loved that. And I drove it actually as in a track day at Knockhill, which is, you know, a circuit in Scotland, and I came away from having driven it around the circuit, not having driven it on the road, but on the track. I thought, definitely I'll one of those. So I phoned them up and ordered one, and I loved that. So when this came up, then my car just naturally came up for, you know, its time renewal, and it had to be one of these.
So that would be just for driving around the back roads of France?
Yeah, just for down there. I don't actually do too many kilometres now, just purely because of the amount of travelling, is, you know, trips like this sort of take your weekends away. However, when I do it, I like to actually drive something nice.
Gonna do another wagon? Another monster?
Yeah. You get that. I've ordered the coupe though. I like this style. So I've got this generation car, but in the S4 at the moment. I think we're ready to roll. Maybe not completely ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. I'll tell you, and then they'll release you.
Yeah, okay, and it's, as he said. Yeah, perfect, cool. It's alright for you champs with your short sleeve shirts. I've got 4 layers of thermal underwear effectively on. These are 3-layer suits plus an underwear, and they're like thermals when you wear them. In these conditions, I've got to be honest, they're not the most fun things to wear. But then again.
What do you think of the diesel car, the race car?
The car is obviously, from a technical point of view, extremely advanced. As advanced as anything that's racing. It doesn't matter, even in Formula 1 or whatever, it's up there. To drive it is quite different from a petrol car, a standard gasoline car, because it's got so much more torque, you know, a significant amount of torque. Down to the end of the pit lane.
Yeah, you can go down to the other end right here. You can't see back there. Let these guys.
Yeah.
You never know when they're going to duck in quick.
No. Is it better to wait till the checker? Do you want me to wait till the checker goes out?
That would be, well, then you're going to have to wait for them all to come in if you do that.
Okay.
Here for a minute. Okay. Alright, yeah, you want
okay. In terms of the diesel, to drive it, you just can't be quite as brutal with your throttle application, because you've got 1100 Newton meters of torque and 650 horsepower, and you know, at the end of the day you've got to treat it with respect, just because of that sheer power aspect. The course of development of the car, because it's well, whenever you want me to go. Yeah. The development of the car will be to make it more powerful, give it, you know, better grip levels, more consistent grip levels, but also to make it a little bit smoother to drive. And that's part of just the evolution process. It was exactly the same with the R8. When we ran that for the first time in 2000, you know, you had to hang on to it at times. And then now what we have is an extremely docile car in comparison. But you know, the performance of it is just unbelievable. It's completely out of this world. You know, you got so much power. You've got, in terms of aerodynamics and things, that's all changed because of the regulation as well. But you know, in chassis is much better, engines significantly better, and plus we've got but 10% better fuel mileage.
I hear the other teams are starting to complain and say it's all unfair now.
It was fair enough when, you know, they could build a diesel if they want.
Yeah.
You know, the regulations are there. If they want to build a diesel, they can build a diesel. There's no one stopping them.
Right.
And
Don't break the pretty automobile.
I'll try that. But yes, that's always the case, that when someone steals a march in any category, the others complain because they don't like it. But you know, ultimately the rules are the same for everybody, and everyone can do whatever they want within them. And this is the way that Audi felt they could use them to the best advantage and exploit their technology and knowledge.
Yep.
You know, and from that point of view, I'll be quite happy driving it. But Peugeot have already came in with they've committed to coming in with a diesel as well next year. And I think in the overall principle of things, it's very good, because we're in a changing world. You know, we can't stick around with the same philosophies that we had 30 years ago. You know, it's just not there. We need to be a little bit more environmentally friendly. We need to understand that the resources are, you know, more important and a little bit more valuable than they were before, and you just can't use them indiscriminately.
I hear the car's very quiet.
Yeah.
Do you notice that as a driver?
Yes, you do. You notice it very, very quickly, because when you get to 120 miles an hour, you can't hear the engine.
That wasn't the case before.
No, you heard the engine all the way, all the time. And the wind noise over, it's not because the engine goes silent because of the acoustics of that, but just the wind noise over your helmet drowns out the low engine noise. And it is significantly quieter than the R8 or the petrol engine, partly because it's revving less, because the diesel revs less, you know, but also just with the sort of acoustics of it, it just seems to sort of quieten itself down and just goes along. It feels like you're floating. It's quite bizarre.
So less stress on you.
Yeah, I think audible stress, yes.
On the driver.
Yeah, but I don't think that was a design concept. I think that was a byproduct.
Right.
Is it tough to go back and forth from the R8 to the R10? You've been doing that a lot this season.
Yeah, I've done it quite a lot because we've been testing and also racing the R10 at different times, and obviously racing the R8 in between over here. The funny thing is that you sit in the R8 and immediately you go to plug in your radio plugs over here, because that's where they are in the R10, but actually they're over there. And then you switch on the ignition and you go to switch on the starter, and it's over here on the R10, but it's over here on the R8, so there's a few sort of things crossed over. But once you go at the pit lane, then it has got the same DNA, and it works in the same way. Okay, you can tell that it's a diesel, you can tell that the weight of the car by regulations is a bit heavier, but the fact is it's came out of the same design department with the same people working on it. You know, the aero evolutions and the chassis evolutions and the technical director and the big bosses are all the same that were there when the R8 came out. So it's understandable, in my opinion, that it's very similar.
When you come back in, they're going to open this gate right here for you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yep, lovely.
Thanks.
So have you been around here before?
Never been to this track.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah, you're going to have to hold on to your camera.
Okay.
It's a very, very tricky circuit. Really, really demanding, because even though it's short, it's only and has 7 corners. Well, in reality 6 corners, because the first corner on the track map says 1 and 2, but it's 1 corner. If you make a mistake, or don't necessarily make a mistake, but just don't get it perfect, then you lose such a big percentage of your lap. And so from that point of view, the penalties are very, very big. The other thing is that it's got some, you'll see, it's got some concrete patches, which I think is partly due to the weather up here in the winter. It just basically freezes and breaks up the tarmac quite significantly, and so they've concreted into areas that have obviously broken up, and that's got different grip levels to the other parts. We're meant to do 60 kilometers down here, which is what we're doing now. Nope, down here in 4th gear, and you see that concrete patch there, and you've got to try and keep the car inside it because it's got less grip. Then you get to the second part, and let the car run out wide, all in 4th gear, running up here. This is tricky because the camber falls in and then it flattens out. And again, just as it flattens out, you get to that concrete area. Through the right hander. The right hander's in 4th gear. Bounce up over the curb. In the damping in this car, you don't feel it, but the race car, this is very, very bumpy straight. Coming to the, this one, blow your mind. So think of this, we're what, 3 feet above, 4 feet above the ground. In the race car, you're not, you're about an inch above the ground. That's in 5th gear, that corner, on the curb on exit. You come down 6 gears, slight tap on the brake, and then in before you run onto the straight. There's one quick lap of Mid-Ohio. Our stint lengths are going to be 85 laps by the time we come around here. It's an unbelievable circuit because that's just it's going to be racing beyond belief.
We've just been told you have 5 laps.
5 laps?
Yeah. Hey, we've just been told we have 5 laps.
You fancy another 4?